Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. When new products are announced, video games, TV shows, or movies, there's always an initial reaction to trailers and casting and whatnot. And I like to talk about them and say, decide whether or not we'll keep an eye on them as to how many red flags keep popping up. And of course, the latest in the red flag, gonna keep an eye on you, is Ghost of, gonna pronounce this wrong, Yotei. Either one. I'll be corrected in the comment section in future videos for sure, the more I talk about this. The initial reaction, of course, was between the activist voice actor playing the main role, as well as whether or not, or how much people wanted this to be an actual continuation of the first game, Ghost of Tsushima, that was met with critical acclaim. But, well, of course, we say we're going to keep an eye on it, see what everything goes, because personally, I don't think the voice actors and actresses and their political and ideological opinion could possibly have too much of effect on the writing of the game. But over here, thanks to Madam Savvy and her massive internet autism, discovered a few things that came to light, at least to me. I'm sure others have known this already. We got some more information concerning the writers for the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Because I'm gonna give up. Yotei. Anyway, the two writers in question would be John Dombrow and Courtney Woods. I don't usually pay attention to the writers. I just want to know if the game is fun. Is the dialogue interesting? Is the story interesting? Are the mechanics fun? Does the world make sense? I don't really care who does the voice acting. I don't even care who does the publishing, the directing, the writing, and everything. I just want a fun game. But I think it's kind of important that we take a look at good old John Dombrow and Courtney Woods, because, well, what else did they work on? And here's where the fun starts, because, well, first of all, good old John here worked on Dragon Age the Veilguard. And we know how much of a, spectacular writing adventure that was. Anthem had its moments, but wow, that was a boring slog and mixed bag of writing and gameplay mechanics and whatnot. And of course, Mass Effect Andromeda, which many will say is the absolute worst of the Mass Effect entries. My face is tired. The NPCs, the graphics, the facial models, didn't play it, so I can only go off of what I've heard. Now, what about little Miss Courtney? Well, hold on. Before we leave good old John, he also worked on, what else? The other Mass Effect game. So, to be fair, we have to list those two. But again, the most recent, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Now, what about Courtney Woods? Well, she also worked on Dragon Age the Veilguard, Anthem, and Mass Effect Andromeda as a writer. Also, Dragon Age Inquisition and Star Wars The Old Republic, which might be the best defense for her writing as a whole. But when the most recent project you worked on has such abysmal writing, abysmal quest lines, and just outright failure, doing half the numbers that EA and BioWare were hoping for, it must be addressed. It must be talked about, because now they're moving on to Ghost of Yotei, whatever. How? This is definitely a red flag. Definitely something to keep an eye on. For Courtney and John, which writer are we going to get? Are we going to get the Dragon Age Veilguard writer? Are we going to get the Star Wars The Old Republic writer in quality and, well, continuity and how much it's going to make sense? Nice little short video. Caught my attention this morning. You tell me what you think. Again, thank you to Madam Savvy. She is always so wonderful, getting the information out in a far more clear and coherent way than I ever possibly could. But stuff to look forward to. We have an activist voice actor, which, hey, we'll see where it goes, and two writers that had a part in the most recent failure when it comes to writing in Dragon Age the Veilguard. We'll see how this goes. Going to be keeping more and more an eye on it. Multiple red flags coming up. How many more will there be? Are you excited for this game? But let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, and Do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.